Welcome in, Carlos. You are first. I always love that beginning to this great classic game. Takuni 007 is second. All right. I love it. Good to see you guys. Hopefully you're having a nice Sunday afternoon. Whatever you're doing, whatever you're up to. I just love that bombastic beginning, this 1995 classic baseball game. So we're going to do some 1906 with this thing moving forward and stuff like that. So it's got its flaws, certainly, but it's a fun baseball game and it's a landmark baseball game. And as I mentioned in the broadcast I did earlier today, done two games today, one on Diamond Mine Baseball and then one on this one. So go on YouTube, preferably after this game, but whenever, and just Google Saber, S-A-B-R, and then Don Daglow. And you'll get to hear the man himself talk about this game and just all kinds of things. Designed so many games. Guy was brilliant, is brilliant. His friendship with Tony La Russa, who was the baseball consultant to this in the Tony La Russa series, and also with Earl Weaver Baseball. So Don Daglow, creator of Earl Weaver Baseball, of Old Time Baseball, of a ton of stuff. So do check it out. It's great stuff. In the meantime, we're going to go and do this opening day business here with the Boston Beaneaters, Chicago Cubs. 1906, this playthrough will follow the Cubs and the White Sox because they met in the World Series. We'll see if they actually get there. In the actual World Series, the White Sox upset the 1906 Cubs. So, anyhow, enjoy, guys. Don't expect it to be as sexy as MLB The Show. This is 1995 after all. It'll have a few announcing glitches and what have you, but hope you have some fun with it. The game is freely available out there on the interwebs.
Hello there, everybody. Welcome to the ivy-covered halls of Wrigley Field in beautiful Chicago, where today plays Chicago. The weather today is frigid and foggy, with a humidity reading of 60%. We've got a real pleasant, gentle breeze blowing from right to left at about 5 miles per hour. You know, fans, if only these ivy-covered walls could talk, man, there's enough baseball tradition in this ballpark to fill 100 history books. Boston is tied for the lead in the division race. I'm Mel Allen, and I'm here to bring you all the action. Leading off the inning, Fred Tenney, hitting .283. A slow ground ball hit out to first. He takes it to the bag himself. One out now. That brings up the third baseman, hitting .250. Grounded up the middle for a base hit, and the throw to first. Got him, out number 2. Now that brings up the center fielder, hitting .252. A looping drive to center field. Base hit for Bates. Up next, the left fielder, hitting .455.
Hey, Bernie. Good to see you, Bernie.
The runner goes. Look out now. Hey, that throw sailed high and wide, and it's going to be an error on the catcher. He steals second, and he steals third. Grounded to third, and the throw to first. Got him, and that's the third out of the inning. No runs, one hit, no errors, and one runner left on base. Middle of the first inning, no score. Leading off the inning, the second baseman, batting .255. A looping drive to left field. A single for the second baseman. Coming up to bat, Jimmy Sheckard, hitting .262. Strike three. He struck him out. One down. Coming up to bat, Harry Steinfeld, hitting .327. He comes to the stretch. Strike three. That's two away. That brings up Frank Chance, hitting .319. A line drive to second. Caught by that ends the inning. No runs, one hit, no errors, and one runner left on base. Going to the top of the second, no score. And now starting off the inning is Del Howard, batting .261. Grounded. Got him. That's one down. Now batting Al Bridwell, batting .227. A liner to first. He takes it to the bag himself. Coming up to bat, the second baseman, batting .202. There's a high pop-up, the catcher. He makes the play, and that retires the side. 3 up, 3 down. That's 1.5 innings gone, no score. Leading off the inning, Frank Schulte, hitting .281.
No, actually, Sakuni, the Beaneaters are the Boston National League team. So Boston used to have 2 teams, just like Chicago does. So the Beaneaters would become or are the Boston Braves.
Strike three. That's one down. That's his third strikeout, but only 2 innings of pitching by the next batter, the catcher, batting .312.
Oh, no worries. Good question. Thanks for asking.
There's a slow ground ball hit out right down the third baseline. And the throw to first. Got him. Out number 2. Up next, Jimmy Slagle, hitting .239. Grounded to second, and the throw to first. Got him. That retires the side. 3 up, 3 down. Heading to the third, it's 0-0. And now starting off the inning is the catcher, hitting .189. There's a high pop-up, the catcher. Caught by 1 down. That brings up the pitcher, hitting .196. Here comes the pitch. A hot grounder to second. He grabs it. And the throw to first. Got him. Out number 2. Up next, Fred Tenney. He's nothing for one in this game. Grounded. And the throw to first. Got him. That ends the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on. In the middle of the third, it's 0-0. Leading off the inning, Joe Tinker, batting .233.
Good trivia there by Bernie in the chat.
A high fly ball going out to center field. Caught by Bates. That's one down. The throw to second base. That brings up the pitcher, hitting 2-4. A high fly ball going out down the left field line. Caught by out number 2. Now that brings up the second baseman. He's 1 for 1 with the single. Grounded up the middle for a base hit. Got him. That ends the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on. Going to the fourth, no score. Leading off the inning, the third baseman. He's 0 for 1 today. He comes to the plate. Strike 3. He struck him out. 1 out now. Now coming up, the center fielder. He's 1 for 1 with a single and with 2 stolen bases. He comes to the plate. Grounded up the middle for a base hit. Got him. 2 down.
Hey, cousin,
up
welcome
next,
in.
the left fielder. He's 0 for 1 in this game. Here comes the pitch. A line drive to the shortstop. Caught by Tinker. And that retires the side. 3 up, 3 down. Middle of the fourth, Boston 0. Chicago 0. Leading off the inning, Jimmy Sheckard. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout.
Oh, you're welcome, Bernie. I'm glad you're loving the dead ball era.
Fly ball to left field. Caught by 1 out now. Now coming up, Harry Steinfeld. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Strike 3. He struck him out, and now 2 outs. That's the 4th K the pitch has earned today. Next batter, Frank Chance. He's 0 for 1 in this game. To left field. And he makes the catch. That ends the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on. Top of the 5th. It's 0-0. Leading off, Del Howard. He's 0 for 1 today.
Oh my God, isn't that the truth? So many great stories, and even into, the Babe Ruth era and beyond. But yeah, until baseball became big business, it's one of the reasons why I love the game so much. Are the great stories. So, this game. The announcing isn't anywhere near as smooth as baseball for Windows or anything, but this game in itself is a piece of baseball history. And I wanted to thank Ken again for sending me that link. I watched part of the interview yesterday with Don Daglow and then watched the rest of it when I came home last night. So guys, again, just Google, just in YouTube, search Saber Don Daglow, Daglow, and it's Stayed Home with Saber. It's a great interview. The guy is a legend, not only in the gaming, I mean, in the baseball gaming community, but just in the gaming community in general. Worth listening to. He talks about his friendship with both Earl Weaver, Tony La Russa. He doesn't talk a lot about the games individually, like his later games, like the La Russa series and this one. But still, what a lot of fun. So definitely do check it out. Smart man, great, just a great guy who his passion for baseball is just amazing. There's Aaron Reed. Could I get? I wish I could get Don Daglow on here. Are you kidding me? That would be amazing. But I wouldn't even know how to do that. Yikes. That would be something. Let you guys know, and I know that this channel would, like, the chat would blow up for that, because there wasn't a lot of questions that people asked him in that Saber stream, and I know you guys would have a ton of questions for him. Again, just what a nice guy. If I could somehow wrangle it, I'll see what I can do, man. I mean, that would be beyond amazing. Oh man. Hey Aaron, welcome in.
He reels it in. That's one down. The throw to second base. Next batter, Al Bridwell. He's nothing for one in this game. He comes to the plate. A high chopper, but right back to the pitcher. And the throw to first. Got him. That's two away. Up next, the second baseman. He's nothing for one today. He comes to the plate. To third. Caught by Steinfeld. That'll do it for the visitors in the fifth. 3 up, 3 down. In the middle of the fifth, Boston 0, Chicago 0. Leading off, Frank Schulte. He's nothing for one with a strikeout. Strike 3. He struck him out. 1 out now. Coming up next is the catcher. He's nothing for one today. He comes to the plate. Fly ball to left field. Caught by the left fielder. And now 2 outs. Coming up next is Jimmy Slagle. He's nothing for one in this game. Grounded to the shortstop. It's a bouncer right through the infield. And he drops it. The throw to second base.
Bernie, I agree with you absolutely, completely. I would say that in terms of play-by-play, and yes, I know that you can do things like customize play-by-play. And again, I'm sorry having to use the bad mic when I have to use this game. So hopefully you can hear me through the crowd and the bad mic. Yeah. So while you can edit play-by-play in other games like Digital Diamond and things like that, out of the rip, the play-by-play in Diamond Line Baseball is phenomenal. The only thing I think that comes very close to it, maybe equals it, is Baseball for Windows. But I mean, it's riveting. The play-by-play is riveting. You're just reading it, and I'm glad you picked up. I'm guessing you picked up both all-time great player sets. You're gonna have a lot of fun with those, and there's a ton of other free resources out there too, Bernie. Grab them. They're definitely worth having. Yeah, gotta love baseball on a Sunday. Welcome in, Big Clue.
The runner goes. A line drive to left field. He's up to the ball and throws to third. Safe. Base hit for Tinker. That brings up the pitcher. He's 0-for-1 in this game. Here comes the pitch. There's a high pop-up to third. Caught by. That'll do it for the home team in the fifth. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error, and 2 runners left on base. 5 innings gone. It's 0-0. Leading off, the catcher. He's 0-for-1 in this game. A line drive to left field. Look at that one. It's going right to the wall. Base hit for the catcher. Now that brings up the pitcher. He's 0-for-1 today. A bunt, the catcher. The throw to second base. Now batting, Fred Tenney. He's 0-for-2 in this game. The runner goes. A line drive to third. He makes the play. And now 2 outs. And the throw to first. Not in time. Up next, the third baseman. He's 0-for-2 with a strikeout. The runner goes. A liner to second. Here comes the throw to the plate. Out at the plate. That's the third out of the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. We played 5.5. Boston 0. Chicago 0. And now starting off the inning is the second baseman. He's 1-for-2 with a single. Fly ball to deep right field, and he makes the catch. 1 down. Coming up next is Jimmy Sheckard. He's 0-for-2 with a strikeout. He delivers. Strike 3. That's 2 away. Up next, Harry Steinfeld. He's 0-for-2 with 2 strikeouts.
I'll put the link in the chat for you.
Called strike 3. That's the third out of the inning. 3 up, 3 down. That's 6 in the books. No score.
I'll do it after this game.
And now starting off the inning is the center fielder.
Hey,
he's
Dwayne.
1-for-2 with a single and with 2 stolen bases. A high fly ball going out to center field. And he makes the catch. 1 out now. Now that brings up the left fielder. He's 0-for-2 in this game. He comes to the plate. To second, fielded by the second baseman. And the throw to first. Got him. That's 2 away. Up next, Del Howard. He's 0-for-2 in this game. Grounded to first. He takes it to the bag himself. That'll do it for the visitors in the 7th. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on. 6.5 innings gone. No score. Leading off the inning, Frank Chance. He's 0-for-2 in this game. Here comes the pitch. A high fly ball going out down the left field line. And he makes the catch. One out now. Up next, Frank Schulte. He's nothing for two with 2 strikeouts.
Yes, it is, Dwayne. So what they did is originally this game, Old Time Baseball, originally, these were just expansion. It was like a series of expansion CDs for Tony La Russa Baseball 3 that had all the seasons from 1871 to 1981. And then they went to work with Osborne Associates to get these beautiful ballparks. Don Daglow says in this interview that he started developing the baseball time machine, which is really central to this game, that allows you to do cross-arrow play and what-ifs and everything, which makes this game very, very pioneering, among other things. So basically what they're doing is reusing assets from Tony La Russa Baseball 3. If you notice, the uniforms are very modern looking. So if you even look at the batter, he's wearing, I'm not sure what he's wearing, if that's a 5 or whatever, but they're reusing some assets from the Tony La Russa baseball game, which is understandable, given, the technology of the time and stuff like that. So, but still, as I said, this might not be, to the level of out-of-the-park baseball and action PC, but this game itself, I think, is an important piece of baseball history, and that's why I want to give it some love on this channel and have some fun with it. But yeah, that's the story behind it. Aaron, I'll get that link to you in the chat as soon as this game's over, because I can't release my mouse, unfortunately.
A liner to third. Got him.
Oh, Ken already did it. Thank you, Ken.
Now batting the catcher. He's nothing for 2 in this game. A high chopper, but right back to the pitcher. Got him. That'll do it for the home team in the 7th. 3 up, 3 down. After 7 full, Boston 0, Chicago 0.
Hey, MV.
And now starting off the inning is Al Bridwell. He's nothing for 2 in this game. A liner to second and the throw to first. Got him. 1 out now. Coming up to bat, the second baseman. He's nothing for 2 in this game. Grounded and the throw to first. Got him. And now 2 outs. Coming up next is the catcher. He's 1 for 2 with the single.
Thank you, MV. Means a lot.
Here comes the pitch. The left field. Through the hole on the left side.
Hey, Andrew. Welcome in, man. Welcome.
Base hit for... Coming up to bat, the pitcher. He's nothing for 2 in this game. A liner to third. A single for Pfeffer. And suddenly, they have the winning run in scoring position. Hey, how about that, sports fans? Coming up next is Fred Tenney. He's nothing for 3 in this game. The runner goes. A line drive to center field, and he makes the catch. That ends the inning. After 7.5 innings of play, no score. Pinch hitting for the center fielder as the slick-fielding infielder, and we'll probably see him stay in the game for defensive purposes. Hitting .333. A looping drive to left field. Base hit for coming up to bat, Joe Tinker. He's 1 for 2 with the single. A bunt right down the third baseline, fielded by Brown. The throw to second base. He's safe at second. Base hit for Tinker. And suddenly they have the winning run in scoring position. Now coming up, the pitcher. He's nothing for 2 today. There's a high pop-up to the shortstop. Now batting the second baseman. He's 1 for 3 with the single. Grounded. The throw to second base, and he's out at second. And the throw to first. Coming up next is Jimmy Sheckard. He's nothing for 3 with 2 strikeouts.
Good stuff, Andrew.
Strike 3. He struck him out. That ends the inning. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. After 8 pulled, it's 0-0. And now starting off the inning is the third baseman. He's 1 for 3 with a strikeout and with a single. A bunt to first. Look out now. Hey, that throw sailed high and wide, and it's going to be an error on the second baseman. And the throw to first. Coming up to bat, the center fielder. He's 1 for 3 with a single and with 2 stolen bases. The runner goes. A high fly ball going out to center field. And he makes the catch. 1 out now. Now that brings up the left fielder. He's nothing for 3 in this game. The runner goes. The throw to second base. Hey, he's safe. A stolen base for the third baseman. Grounded. And the throw to first. He beats it out. Base hit for the left fielder. And suddenly they have the winning run in scoring position. Now coming up, Del Howard. He's nothing for 3 in this game. The runner goes. A high fly ball going out to center field. Caught by Gessler. 2 down. He's up with the ball and throws to third. Now that brings up Al Bridwell. He's nothing for 3 today. A hot grounder. Snared by Tinker. And the throw to first. Got him. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error, and 2 runners left on base. As we go to the bottom of the 9th inning, no score. Leading off the inning, Harry Steinfeld. He's nothing for 3 with 3 strikeouts. A line drive to left field. Look at that one. It's going right to the wall. Fielded by a 2-bagger for Steinfeld. And suddenly they have the winning run in scoring position. Now batting Frank Chance. He's nothing for 3 today. Here comes the pitch. Strike 3. 1 out now. And that's the 9th strikeout for the pitcher today. Now coming up, Frank Schulte. He's nothing for 3 with 2 strikeouts. He delivers a bunt to second, and the throw to first. Got him. Now coming up, the catcher. He's nothing for 3 in this game. The payoff pitch. Called strike 3. That ends the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. After 9 complete, no score. Leading off the inning, the second baseman. He's nothing for 3 in this game. A high chopper to second, and the throw to first. Got him, the first out of the inning. Now that brings up Sam Brown, batting .208. Grounded. Got him, that's 2 away. Coming up next is the pitcher. He's 1 for 3 with the single. To third, caught by Steinfeld, and that retires the side. 3 up, 3 down, middle of the 10th, no score. And now starting off the inning is Doc Gessler, hitting .253. He comes to the plate. A hot grounder to second, snared by the second baseman, and the throw to first. Got him, 1 out now. Up next, Joe Tinker. He's 2 for 3 with 2 singles. A looping drive to left field, and he makes the catch. 2 down. Now that brings up the pitcher. He's nothing for 3 today. Here comes the pitch. Coming up to bat, the second baseman. He's 1 for 4 with the single. Here comes the pitch. Grounded to second. He grabs it. The throw to second base. And he's out at second. That ends the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. That's 10 in the books. It's 0-0. And now starting off the inning is Fred Tenney. He's 0 for 4 today.
Yeah, so Andrew, in addition to cousin Ken, also Clinton Parks. I know he's played some National Pastime 3 as well. So, yeah, these are the guys to talk to. And Apple horse racing's a blast. We used to get together on Sundays in his community back in 2017 and play it on the Earls channel. Oh my God, was it fun.
Now coming up, the third baseman. He's 1 for 4 with a single and with a stolen base. Here comes the pitch. A hot grounder. And he's out at second. Coming up to bat, the center fielder. He's 1 for 4 with a single and with 2 stolen bases. The runner goes. A high chopper up the middle for a base hit, and he drops it. It's a bouncer right through the infield. He fires to third. He's safe at third. And suddenly, they have the winning run in scoring position. Next batter, a speed burner. He's 1 for 4 with a single. A liner to right field. Look at that one. It's going right to the wall. He fires to third. Out at third. Driving in a pair of runs. The score is 2-0. Next batter, Del Howard. He's nothing for four in this game. Here comes the pitch. Grounded up the middle for a base hit. Got him. That retires the side. 2 runs, 1 hit, 1 error, and nobody left on. Middle of the 11th. Boston 2, Chicago 0. Leading off the inning, Jimmy Sheckard. He's nothing for 4 with 3 strikeouts. Grounded right back to the pitcher. And the throw to first. Got him. That's 1 down. Coming up next is Harry Steinfeld. He's 1 for 4 with 3 strikeouts and with a double. Strike 3. Out number 2. Coming up next is Frank Chance. He's nothing for 4 with a strikeout. He's a slow ground ball hit out to first. He takes it to the bag himself. That ends the inning, 3 up, 3 down. After 11 innings of play, Chicago trails Boston by 2 runs. And the game is over. Boston wins. And that's the ball game. This is Mel Allen saying so long, everybody. See you tomorrow. Goodbye.
Well, disappointing opening day here for the 1906 Chicago Cubs. So defeated by the Boston Beaneaters 2-0. 2 runs, 4 hits, 1 error for the Beaneaters. No runs, 5 hits, 2 errors for the Chicago Cubs. So let's have a look at our line scores here, or box score, I should say. So extra base hits in this game. Harry Steinfeld had 1 for Chicago. And for Boston, we actually had a triple somewhere. Oh, no, he was gunned out. So, and a double by Ernie Deal. So, as you'd expect, a kind of low-scoring game. Let's look at the pitchers here. So, Jeff Pfeffer gets the win. 11 innings worked. He struck out 11. Gave up a double, 5 hits, 1 walk, no runs. And let's look at the other team. Three Finger Brown takes the loss. Not the best day for him. Only struck out 1 batter, walked 1, gave up 7 hits, and touched up for 2 runs. So we'll go ahead and save this. Hello. There we go. All right. So let me plug in this other mic here. We're about to get out of here. I know that RJL will be starting in about 45 minutes. So, Dwayne, since this is the first time I've seen you in a broadcast in ages, this is something I was going to do, but now that you're here, I'll ask your permission. But let me get out of this game here. All right. Oop, there we go. All right. So, all right. So you guys should be able to hear me. So Dwayne, I was thinking, I mean, it's really, really up to you. Because I did game 1 of the finals for the Braves Yankees, and like I think we had 2 or 3 people in here, 4 at the most. I think there's a bit of dwindling interest in that. So I just wanted to see if it's okay with you if we just go ahead and just simulate those 2. I think it was fun, but I think in something like this, it's probably sort of dwindling interest down to just, 2 teams, whatever. So let me know because I can sim those out really, really quickly. So Cousin Ken very kindly putting the link to the Don Daglow chat with Saber. And there's a lot of good stuff on the Saber YouTube channel. And if you're not a member of Saber, guys, you really should think about joining. It's the most amazing baseball scholarship that you'll ever find, and good reason why Saber's been around. So all kinds of stuff. So Dwayne, he says you need to go with Ken to a tournament, an APA tournament, playing face to face, laughing. I can't wait to do that. Yeah, let's might as well do it. So what we'll do very very quickly is just sim out those two games. So here we go. So we're not going to call these. Yeah, RJL calls a great cards and dice game. He really, really does. I'd love to hear him do a digital game. I think it'd be a lot of fun. I think the guys that do digital best in our community, Christopher Slovic, um, Legend Sports Universe, and Al Red Sox fan as far as baseball. Al, I think, is the best boxing announcer on our channel or on our humble little community, though. Bernie does a great job, of course, too. Still new at it, but every broadcast just picking it up and doing it up right. So, Cousin Ken, I usually don't go up against anybody else, but if you're up for it, we can hang around and do a 19th century game where everybody goes off to do 2016 with Robert. Love Robert's channel, but I feel like doing some 19th century. Carlos Yaz says he's having issues with out of the park baseball. So, Carlos, let me know, and if I can help, I'll certainly be glad to do that. So, I'll be glad to help you with any issues that you have with out of the park baseball. All right, first let's take care of this this thing right here, which was fun, but I've learned it just. I thought that this tournament would do well because our Sweet 16 tournament did, but this one interest just tailed off. Maybe I don't know if it was the single elimination idea or what, because that does kind of increase the drama. But in hindsight, maybe if I try this again sometime with these sub 500 teams, would be have the first round single elimination, and then the just move ahead and increase the games, maybe best of three, best of five, something like that. I don't know, just because people's teams were out and that's it. Why watch it? All right, so here we go. The Braves leading this series, one game to nothing. Zane Smith versus Doc Medich. We will simulate this one, and this is over, so we don't even have to worry about it. The Atlanta Braves of 1984 sweep. They take this series in two in a row from the 1973 Yankees, 6-3. Let's have a quick look at the box score here for that. So good for you, Dwayne. So here we go. The 1984 Braves made quick work of the 1973 Yankees. So they sealed the series victory at Yankee Stadium during the regular season play. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so it doesn't give you a great recap. So the Atlanta Braves with 6 runs, 14 hits, no errors. The 1973 Yankees, 3 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error. So congratulations. We have both managers in here, Dwayne Martz and Big Clue. So you guys picked some good teams. They went all the way to the finals, but the Atlanta Braves just putting the smackdown on the Yanks. For the Atlanta Braves, home runs. Milt Thompson actually had a triple. Dale Murphy had a home run. The Yankees, neither. So winning pitcher was Len Barker. Steve Bedrosian got the save. Doc Medich went 4 2/3 innings, striking out 3. Pagan came in, worked 1 1/3. Buskey 2 innings, and Lyle 1 inning. So looking at the line score, the Yankees had a 2-0 lead. Then the Braves tied up in the 4th. The Yanks went ahead, and then the Braves with a big run 5th. And then they tacked on 1 in the 9th. So there you go. That is it, and that is done, and we'll delete that. So congrats to Big Clue and Dwayne for fielding a couple great teams. Good job. All right, so now we're going to go back to the 19th century because Cousin Ken is here. So let's do this. We'll see who's on the schedule. Good to see MV and everything. Andrew says he believes the 73 Yankees had 2 starting pitchers who ended up swapping wives. Gotta love the 70s, huh? All right, let's see what we have here in terms of 19th century matchups for today. This day might be done. Yep, we have to advance a day. So all the games played here. Yep. All right, so let's move ahead. Yeah, review rotation, finish today. All right, review depth charts, review rotation. All right, so we have Louisville Grays versus the Boston Red Sox Stockings. Sorry. Here's what else we have in terms of the 19th century. So the 1899 Phillies, 1878 Reds, 1895 Spiders, and the 1892 Ruby Legs. I know that Cousin's been wanting to see the Ruby Legs, so I'm guessing that's going to be the game he'll pick. We have the 1899 Superbas, 1885 White Stockings, and then we're getting down here. All the guys at the bottom are the dead ball guys. What else do we have here? The 1879 Bisons, the 1888 Giants, 1894 Orioles, the 1888 Alleghenies, and the 1887 Wolverines against the 1876 Brown Stockings. So it's up to you, Cousin Ken. So Andrew is voting for the Ruby Legs. So it looks like that's one vote for them. So, and we'll leave the dead ball guys for another night. There's some good matchups here in the dead ball era as well. So again, this is there are 15 19th century teams and 15 dead ball teams. Okay, and Big Clue's voting for the Wolverines. So they play the Brown Stockings. I don't think you guys are in the mood for a double header, so you just got to pick one. Bernie Strom jumping on. Thanks, guys, too. I wanted to do Diamond Mine Baseball badly. Just decided after Baseball Replay Journal and how much he's done on Diamond Mine in his channel. He doesn't read out the play-by-play, but people like it. Anything but F-ball. All right, Wolverines and the Brown Stockings. All right, so the Wolverines are 1-0 on the season. The Brown Stockings 0-1. All right, let's do this. All right, so Cousin, we are depending upon you for lots of info on these players. Some of them I know, some of them I don't. 19th century, definitely yours. So this is Grand Avenue Park. I don't know what I'm using for Grand Avenue Park. We'll see. So this is 1887 versus 1876, which means this is not modern baseball, even though the game's going to impose that engine on it. You're probably going to see some weird things. All right. So Ned Hanlon, who would eventually become the manager of the infamous 1894 Baltimore Orioles, we'll see him as a player here for the 1887 Detroit Wolverines. So he leads off and plays center field, batting second at shortstop, Jack Rowe. Batting third, a familiar name from the Ned McGreevy League, and Hall of Famer in right field, Sam Thompson. Another Hall of Famer batting cleanup for Detroit at first base, Dan Bruthers. Hardy Richardson batting fifth in left field. Richardson led the McGreevy League in home runs. Batting sixth at third base, Deacon White. Batting seventh, and he was a scourge, Fred Dunlap at second base. Charlie Bennett catching and batting eighth. And Stump Weedman is pitching and batting ninth. So know these pitchers. Now, the Brown Stockings, not so much. I know a few of these guys on here. All right, leading off at third base is Joe Batten, batting second at first base. Ned Cuthbert batting third in left field. Lip Pike batting fourth at shortstop. Denny Mack batting fifth and catching John Clapp. So John Clapp, a little bit fatigued coming into this game, but these weren't 25-man rosters. Batting sixth at second base, Mike McGeary. Batting seventh in right field, Joe Blong. Batting eighth, center fielder Dickie Pierce. And pitching, pardon me, and batting ninth is George Bradley. So, again, I have no idea what park I assigned to these, but it should be a lot of fun. So let's go into the way, way back machine from 1906. We go back to 1876. Let me bring up the crowd sound. I like to hear it better in my ear. There we go. Come on, baby. There we go. All right. So, yeah, that looks like something they would have played in the 19th century. Kind of weird, though. I don't know what this is, but we're going to fix that. So we might have to go to a, yeah, overview, at least for the initial one. Okay. So, leading off here is Ned Hanlon for the Detroit Wolverines. George Bradley, as he finishes his warm-up pitches. We will pretend that the Wright brothers actually were around in 1876, and we'll do a little fly around of this neat old ballpark. Again, thank you to Mike Silva. Just pretend the lights are like all kind of candles and stuff like that. All right, here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. And George Bradley picks up a strikeout to start this game. Now here's Jack Rowe. Jack Rowe, good contact, good power hitter for him. He's 2 for 5 in the season. George Bradley ready to deal. Here's the 1-1 pitch. And Rowe swings. This one liner to center field. This will get down for a base hit. So Detroit has its first base hit of the ball game. And it brings up Sam Thompson. So Ken Castro already starting here. Lip Pike, first Jewish superstar in baseball. And he says, I believe George Bradley pitched the first real Major League Baseball no-hitter in history. Yeah, he did. Now, what's interesting, Ken, and you might be able to correct me on this, I've seen that John Richmond is actually credited in 1880. So was there something about the George Bradley game that he didn't? Because I've seen his name listed, but with an asterisk, and usually it's John Richmond in 1880. So perhaps you could maybe enlighten us a bit on the sort of John Richmond, George Bradley. Jack Rowe with good speed on first, and here's Sam Thompson. And Sam Thompson really did well in McGreevy 1. McGreevy 2 coming up, guys, really soon. Probably in a few weeks, since Shanks has been moved to October 18th. We'll get McGreevy started once that draft night is done. Shit. Right, the Wright brothers, exactly. Andrew catching up here. He says the Wright brothers play for Boston in the National Association, and we'll see them, by the way, in this game, as we have the Red Stockings, the 1875 Red Stockings. The other two Wright brothers invented something. Yep, those bicycle guys from Ohio. All right, here's George Bradley's delivery to Sam Thompson. Thompson swings, and this one, a high fly ball center field, and bringing it down between his hands will be Pierce for the play. So 2 away now, Jack Rowe. And remember, guys, that we're pretending this is 1876, that hitters could call for high-low pitches and different ball strike counts and anything. So we suspend disbelief a little bit. Here's Big Dan Bruther, scary hitter. He is 1 for 3 with a run batted in this season. Here's the 0-2. Bruther's a swing and a miss. So big curveball there, big bender by George Bradley. So nothing on a hit for the Wolverines. They leave one. We go to the bottom of the first. The Wolverines nothing. And the St. Louis Brown Stockings coming to bat. Leading off here, Joe Batten, 1 for 5. But yeah, I love how Park does that too. Here's the pitch. Weedman fires it in. Little swinging bunt back to the mound. And the throw to first, not in time. So Joe Batten on at first, and here's Ned Cuthbert. Cuthbert 1 for 2. Stump Weedman lets it go. Here's the pitch. Cuthbert swings and hard grounder to first. And stepping on the bag and then going to second, not in time. So Joe Batten in there in scoring position now, and here is Lip Pike. He's 1 for 2, 2 RBI in the season. The 0-2 pitch to Pike. And strike 3 in the outside corner on a changeup. So 2 down. Batten remains at second. Okay, so Richmond, Ken Castro says that John Richmond pitched a 7-game exhibition no-hitter prior to his quote-unquote official no-hitter. All right. Richmond's was the first perfect game. Okay, so that's maybe that was the asterisk that I saw then. I remember seeing that in, you guys remember Street and Smith's baseball? right? Street Smith's baseball used to have all kinds of really cool baseball history in it. And man, I remember as a kid poring over all the World Series accounts way back then in Street and Smith's. Had I been a smarter little kid and gone all the way back to the advertisements, I would have seen APA baseball and would have started as an 8-year-old, I guess, or whatever, with APA baseball or however old I was. So weirdly enough, I did not discover cards and dice baseball until college. So late starter. I was playing PC baseball games, but had no idea. All right, Stump Weedman, and you gotta love that name, will face Denny Mack here with 2 down. Here is the pitch. And this one gets by Bennett chasing after the wild pitch. And Joe Batten will move to third. Denny Mack back in the box. Here's the 1-0 delivery now. Mack swings. This one a soft hopper to short. And up with that one. The 6-3 put out. And that does it. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. A man left on. And we go to the second. And we are scoreless. So again, hopefully Robert doesn't get too upset. And yeah, we're about to get a night game here. So one of the things I don't like about this is I want to be able to set day games only, and I can't. So we're going to have a night game in the 19th century. Further suspension of disbelief. If there is a way, and I've played this game for years and years and years, if there's a way to set this to have no games darkness, that would be awesome. So something I've never been able to find in Outer Park baseball, and it's probably right in front of my nose. All right, Hardy Richardson, Deacon White, and Fred Dunlap do up. George Bradley with 2 strikeouts thus far. The 0-2 delivery to Hardy. And Richardson swings hard ground ball to third. But up with that is Joe Batten and fires on to Ned Cuthbert for the 5-3 putout. 1 away now for Deacon White. Deacon White having a good start to the season. 2 for 6 with a run batted in. Ken Castro says suspension of disbelief. Heck, I'm married. Bradley deals to White, the 0-1. White swings and grounded to first, and I got to remember to fix and make high socks here for the Detroit Wolverines. I know there's a couple teams I forgot. Anyhow, Cuthbert will take it for the out. 2 down. Here's Fred Dunlap. Base is empty in the top of the second. George Bradley twirls it. The 1-2 to Dunlap. Dunlap swings, and this one a slow comebacker to the mound. And plenty of time as Dunlap is retired. The Wolverines get nothing. No score as we head to the bottom of the second inning here in 1876. John Clapp due up, followed by McGeary and Blanc. Weedman with the 1-1 pitch. Swung on. Oh, weird bounce off. There wouldn't have been a mound in 1876, but that's okay. So Clapp aboard with the infield hit. Let's look at that weird thing. So no pitcher's mound yet, neither in 1876 nor 1887 for that matter. So this is a weird one. Boop, right off the mound. And there we go. So all the gas lights are lit here at the ballpark at Grand Avenue Park. All right, here is Mike McGeary, and I sure wish we could find old diagrams of these parks. And, you know, Mike Silva has offered, he said if you can find some 19th century parks, the older ones, he'd be glad to do them in Google SketchUp. Man, that would be great if you would. All right, the Speedy John Clapp aboard. Here's Mike McGeary now. On the season 0 for 3 with a run batted in. Stump Weedman with the 1-0 delivery to McGeary. And the runner goes. Clapp takes off the slide, and he's got the stolen base, first of the season. So runner in scoring position here for the Brown Stockings. McGeary back in, and the 1-1 delivery from Weedman. And this one is a wild, no, it's a pass ball. Bennett mishandling it. So with a pass ball, we have Clapp going to third. Welcome to 19th century baseball where nobody wears gloves. Mike McGeary back in. The count even at 2-2. McGeary swings this one. Hard grounder deep to short, and that one dropped. And that will be an infield hit. They are not going to call that one an error. So Clapp crosses the plate, and the St. Louis Brown Stockings get a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the second over the Wolverines. Here's Joe Blanc now, as I'm going to keep, yeah, no errors yet, right? So Ken Castro saying that the Detroit Wolverines will be taking this game. Old Park's really hard to find. That's very true. So that's why I found a great resource. Actually, I said this one is from Mike Silva. It isn't. I misspoke. I have to find the name of the guy who did these. But so out of the park players, there is a site. Once I find it, I'll get it to you guys in the Discord, where he made a bunch of ballparks, and I just found some things that would look like these are minor league ballparks. And I thought, yeah, these would be nice just for some play, to give it at least a little 19th century feel. Because the default ballpark with out of the park baseball is ugly anyhow. All right, here's Joe Blanc. What a name. Let's look at Mike McGarry. We're going to look at a couple of these players here and there, if you don't mind, to learn about them. So McGarry started in the National Association with Troy, then went to Philadelphia, St. Louis, then Providence, Cleveland, and then finishes with Detroit. So looking at his future team here, let's see, a lifetime 276 hitter, stole 113 bases. Bear in mind that the stolen base rule was in flux, and actually no, how they're getting these stats, I'm not sure, because the stolen base really wasn't a stat until 1887. So curious, because out of the park baseball basically has, all kinds of databases. So I'm not sure, unless they're doing some sort of extrapolation or something. But anyhow, here we go. A player who began in 1871, finished in 1882. So, which is weird because it's showing he was born in 1875. That's just a thing when you're creating these kinds of leagues. So that's not his actual. It's probably not his actual birth date, unless he went back 4 years before his mama and papa met. About it. All right. There's also, the 19th century. There's still, this is any baseball game, just not out of the park. It's a tough century to find any sort of resources. So just have fun saying the names. Joe Blanc now, nothing for 4. Weidman deals. Blanc showing bunt. Can't put the ball in play. The count 0-1. Here's the pitch from Weidman. Runner goes on a bunt back to the mound. And the throw to first will not be in time. So McGarry moves to second. Joe Blanc on first. Speed on the base paths here for St. Louis with nobody out. And here's Dickie Pierce, nothing for 3. The 1-1 pitch to Pierce. Pierce swings, and this one wrapped to center, base hit. This should score a run. Coming around third, McGarry comes in, and he scores the second run. RBI single for Dickie Pierce, one of the players I am somewhat familiar with in this 1876 team. It's 2-0 now, and it's the pitcher, George Bradley, nothing for 3. Joe Blanc at second, Dickie Pierce at first. Here's the pitch. And the runners are in motion, bunt back to the mound. Only play is going to be at first. So what I do like seeing here, and Ken Castro should be liking this too, is really, really small ball in the 19th century. And credit to out of the park baseball, which plays dead ball, plays small ball very, very, very well. So for those of you interested, I know that Robert is coming up in about a half hour. All right. You have to go in Clinton's memory for parks of the 19th century. That's funny. All right. Here is Joe Batten batting with 1 down, 2 in scoring position for the Brown Stockings. Blanc at third, Dickie Pierce at second. Here's the delivery to Batten. Batten swings and sends this one to right field. And back toward that little fence out there, Sam Thompson making the catch, and you're not going to run on Sam Thompson. So 2 down now for Ned Cuthbert, the first baseman. 0 for 1 in this game. Stump Weidman deals. Here's the 1-1 pitch. And Charlie Bennett, that pitch in the dirt, but Bennett making a nice block, preventing from Joe Blong coming home. So Bennett sets the target again, and again he would be standing. You see where my mouse is? He would actually sort of be back here, especially in the dead ball area, but these guys would not be crouched behind the plate. All right, enough history there. 3-2 pitch. Cuthbert swings, and a long drive to right field, and this one off the fence. 1 run comes in, 2 run comes in. So St. Louis surprising us, and in there with a triple is Sam Thompson chasing the ball around. Triple for Cuthbert as Blanc comes in to score, and Pierce will also score. 2 RBI. Triple for Ned Cuthbert, and it's 4-0 St. Louis. This could be an upset. Here's Lip Pike now with Cuthbert at third, 2 down. Lip 0 for 1, as Ken told us, the first Jewish superstar in baseball history. The 2-2 pitch. And Lip Pike swings, high fly ball, right field, into medium right, and dropping the ball. There's our first error of the game. Thompson drops the ball, so score that one E9. Cuthbert comes home on the error, and it's 5-0. Yeah, is the fence 3 feet tall? Exactly. Big Clue says that Clinton could tell us about Elysian Fields, and probably the first game, right? In 19 June 1846, New York Knickerbockers lost 23-1 to the, was it the Gothams? Was it the Gothams? They lost 23-1 or something like that. Got slammed. Alexander Joy Cartwright's team. No market for an 1840s, 1850s baseball simulator, unfortunately, for Ken and I. We'd be the only two. Big Clue would buy it. 3 of us would buy it. All right, here is Denny Mack. And so Stump Weidman, or Weedman, not sure, I would just say Weidman, unable to get the elusive third out here. Lip Pike at second. Denny Mack, 0 for 1. The 2-2 pitch. And Denny Mack swings and sends this one to right field. And this will get down in front of Sam Thompson. And Denny Mack, the throw to the plate gets by Charlie Bennett. And that's going to be a throwing error on Sam Thompson. And it's 6-0 Brown Stockings. Wow. Okay, so 2 errors in this game. Cousin Ken asking where the errors are. Both of them belong to Hall of Famer Sam Thompson. Here's John Clapp. He is 1 for 1. Denny Mack at second. Stump Weidman, none too happy. Full count. Clapp with a single his last time up. Fly ball, center field. And this gets down for a base hit. Oh my God, oh my God. And they catch him, they get him at the plate. We're going to look at that play again. I've got to change this camera angle because it's really awful. But let's look at the Super Stats replay. What an inning that was. Okay, so watch John Clapp. Okay, so fly. I love the little houses out there. There we go. Little bouncer out to center field, the throw home, and they just do get him. All right, we got to try to. We're gonna futz with this camera view a little bit because can't see what's going on out there in center field. So initial. Let's go. Let's go batter's box. There we go. We use batter's box. That'll be fun. This is the Chris Slovic view. And I guess we'll try this for everything and see how that works. I've never tried a complete game in batter's box, but why not give it a go, right? All right. Now I've just got to keep a close eye here. Okay, so Charlie Bennett is due up. St. Louis leading the Wolverines 6-0. Nobody expected that. George Bradley ready to deal. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Bennett. And swung on. Fly ball, center field, ranging to his right. Leaping, it gets over his head. Bennett is going to have himself a leadoff double as Dickie Pierce unable to get to that ball in time. So Bennett in scoring position, and that brings up Stump Weidman. And he needs to get to work here as he is down 6 runs. All right. So George Bradley to deal. Weedman shows bunt, gets down a good one. Only play is going to be to first. Sacrifice successful. Charlie Bennett moves to third. The Detroit Wolverines making some noise here with one down. And we're back at the top of the order for Foxy Ned Hanlon. Foxy Ned, nothing for one. And Hanlon swings. This one, grounder to third. And up with it on to first is Joe Batten. So Hanlon retired, as Cousin Ken Castro says, Jesus H, what an ass kicking. Here is Jack Rowe. He is 1 for 1. Joe Batten at third, 2 down in the top of the third. The 2-2 pitch. Rowe swings. This one, 1 hop to second, and not a problem for McGeary for the 4-3 putout. So Detroit leaves a runner in scoring position. They manage a hit, and that is all. We go to the bottom of the third. 6-0 St. Louis over Detroit. And we will see McGeary, Blong, and Pierce due up for the 1876 Brown Stockings. All right, Stump Weidman has the sign from catcher Mike McGeary. And here's the pitch, the 1-2. McGeary swings. This one, grounder to second, and they got him easy. Nice play by Fred Dunlap for the 4-3 putout. So 1 down here now for Joe Blong. There's Joe. The right fielder is 1 for 1. Ken Castro loved this group. The knowledge base is outstanding. Andrew RW603 said Charlie Bennett invented the first chest protector. Awesome. Yes. Don't see any snow fences anymore around here anyway, says Dwayne Martz. So Dwayne Martz saying that's a snow fence out there. Pretty cool. All right, here we go. Here's the delivery from Weidman. Base is empty in the 0-1. Joe Blong swings. This one, a hopper to short. Easy play for Jack Rowe, and fires quickly for out number 1. All right, here's Dickie Pearson. If you look really closely there, you can see Charlie Bennett's name. And I kind of like that it's using this old kind of font here for St. Louis. So good job. That one we do have to thank Mike Silva for. The ballpark, I will find the name of the guy that did this ballpark. All right, Weidman deals. Here is the 0-1. Pierce singled last time up. High fly ball out to center field near the snow fence. Making the catch is Foxy Ned Hanlon. Inning over. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. Nobody left on. It's still 6-0 Brown Stockings. Top of the 4th inning. Yeah, snow fences. Hey, Mike, we're using this is a park that's not one of yours. I don't know if you remember the name of the guy. You're the one that pointed me to the site. This is a minor league park made by this guy. Downloaded a bunch of them. He has a billion. So, but again, your uniform mod here. I just forgot to set the high stockings. So hopefully you're doing well, Mike. All right, and Tim is here with us. And you know, guys, feel free to switch back forth between 2016 with Robert and 1876/1887 here. All right, Sam Thompson will lead things off here for the Wolverines, down 6 runs here, and he'll be followed by Dan Bruthers and Hardy Richardson. George Bradley has struck out 2. Thompson flied out last time. Looks like he's going to do it again. Fly ball center field. And no, he will not. Sam Thompson will slide into second with the double as Dickie Pierce, not able to get to the ball. And you'll notice that he's playing out of position. Pretty common in those days. Actually, let's look at Pierce for a moment. Pretty common. Again, no 25-man rosters back in the day. Let me see if we can get some fielding. Here we go. What was he actually? So yeah, he's playing way out of position, baseball fans. He played a little bit of left field and right field. Actually, 1 game in left in 1872. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So there you go. All right, back to game action here. But that's not really hurting St. Louis too much with their 6-run lead. All right. So back to it now. Bernie says, according to ChatGPT, there's a night game played on 2nd September 1880 between two department store teams. That's really cool. That is really cool. All right, let's get back to the game here. Dan Bruthers now, Sam Thompson at second. Here's the pitch to Big Dan. And this one, just a little grounder. This one muffed at first by Ned Cuthbert. So Cousin Ken asked for errors, and we got one. First one for the St. Louis Brown Stockings. And that will have runners at first and second. Bruthers at first, Thompson at second, two Hall of Famers, and here's Hardy Richardson. Nothing for one. The 2-1 pitch to Richardson. Richardson swings. Grounded, diving stop at third, and a throwing error at third by Joe Batten. And now it is error heaven, and the bases are loaded. Here we go. All right, Deacon White. Nothing for one. Deacon White, we saw him in the Ned McGreevy League. Bruthers deals. Here's the pitch. Oh, and he hits Deacon White. And Sam Thompson will cross the plate for the first run for these 1887 Detroit Wolverines. It's now 6-1. 2 errors for each team. Let's make book. How many total errors in this game? Fred Dunlap, nothing for one. Bases are still loaded. Deacon White at first, Hardy Richardson at second, Big Dan Bruthers at third. All right, John Clapp ready to receive. Here is the delivery, the 1-0 pitch. Fred Dunlap sends a hard grounder to first. They are not going to turn two. Coming in to score is Dan Bruthers, and the Wolverines starting to claw their way back. It's now 6-2 here as Charlie Bennett steps in 1-for-1. George Bradley pitching with runners at the corners, and the 0-1, and it was a pitch out, and Clapp comes up firing, and Dunlap picks up his 4th stolen bases. So actually he comes up to fire, but holds on to the ball. Count now 1-1, and that's 3-2. Here's the pitch. And Charlie Bennett sends this one high fly ball to shallow center, and coming in to score on the play is Hardy Richardson. So now the Detroit Wolverines have cut the St. Louis Brown Stockings lead in half. Cousin Ken Castro and Jim Manning will now come in. So we're actually seeing a pinch hitter. So Manning, let's see what we know about Jim Manning. His real life stats. Played from 1884 to 1889. Primarily, so Jim, again, we're not going to worry too much about fielding as these guys played wherever they were needed. So, but just these are guys that certainly forgotten to history. So lifetime for him. What was he here? He was a .215 hitter. So there we go. A little bit on Jim Manning. And the wrong picture, of course, for Jim Manning, as you would think. All right, here we go. We got Fred Dunlap is on at third. George Bradley deals. Manning swings, fly ball, and to center field, and that will be the third out of the inning, but the Detroit Wolverines picking up 3 runs. We go to the bottom of the 4th. It's the Brown Stockings 3 and the Brown Stockings 6. The Wolverines 3 here. 19th century baseball. All right, it'll be George Bradley, Joe Batten, and Ned Cuthbert. Ed Beaton will come in now to pitch for Detroit. No record in the season. Looking at Beaton here in his lifetime stats, short career, played from 1887 to 1891 for Detroit and then for the Cleveland Spiders. And since he's a pitcher, we've got to look at his pitching record. So again, not that it means a lot, but 2-time 20-game winner. 1889, he was 20-15. 1890, 22-30. Worked a lot of innings, as you would expect. In those 2 20-game winning seasons, 317 2/3 innings in 1889 and 474 1/3 in 1890. So he finished 48 and 56 with an earned run average of 3.68 and a WAR of 12.1. All right, back to game action now that we know something about Ed Beaton. All right, here's George Bradley. The 1-1 pitch from Ed Beaton. Bradley cuts on this one, fly ball to left, and this one a bouncer over the head of Hardy Richardson. So that's a base hit for St. Louis, number 9. Number 9, and here is Joe Batten, 1 for 2. Batten gets the bunt down, and the sacrifice is successful. And in fact, Ned Beaton making the bad throw there. And that's going to be the 3rd error of the game. So that pulled Bruthers off the bag. 2 runners aboard now. So Batten is at first. George Bradley is at second. Charles Lechmere. One of the Jack the Ripper suspects. Ken Castro says 474 innings pitched. Old Hoss Radborn says, hold my beer. Nice. All right, here is Ned Cuthbert. He's 1 for 2 with 2 runs batted in. And here come the St. Louis Brown Stockings again. Here's the pitch. Cuthbert shows bunt and misses. 1-1 pitch. Cuthbert showing bunts again, and this one bunted foul. George Bradley at second. 3-2 pitch. Swung on. Fly ball into right field. This one will hopefully stay in the park and down into the hands of Sam Thompson, making the running catch. The runners do not advance. 1 away now for Lip Pike, who is nothing for 2. Beaton deals. Ned Pike swings. This one driven to left. And this will get down for a base hit in front of Richardson. And coming around to score is George Bradley. And the Brown Stockings add another run here. It is 7-3. The Brown Stockings with 6 runs in the second and 1 in the fourth. All right, here's Denny Mack now. 1 for 2 with a run batted in. So the game at this time would have looked a lot more, especially for these 1876 Brown Stockings, would have looked a lot more like softball as we would recognize it today, more of a kind of a leisurely softball game than baseball in some ways. All right, here is Denny Mack. He is 1 for 2 with a run batted in. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Mack swings and misses. So 2 down, and Ed Beaton picks up his first strikeout. Here's John Clapp. Clapp 2 for 2, playing with some fatigue, but doing a good job today. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Clapp. Clapp swings, and a hard liner out to left field, down for a base hit in front of Hardy Richardson. The throw home will not be in time, and it's the St. Louis Brown Stockings 8-3. Cousin Ken, I don't remember if you picked these guys as a ringer team, but they're doing it up here against these tough Wolverines. Again, you can't tell much from one game. All right, here is Mike McGeary. He is 1 for 2 with a run batted in. 8-3 your score here in the fourth. Here's the pitch. McGeary swings. This one sent into, we'll call it the Gloman and left. And Hardy Richardson makes the catch to retire the side. But the St. Louis Wolverine, or the Brown Stockings, 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error, 2 left on. And we head to the top of the 5th inning. St. Louis 8, Detroit 3. Ned Hanlon will lead it off. Jack Rowe and Sam Thompson for the Detroit Wolverines. George Bradley ready to deal. Here it comes to Foxy Ned. Hanlon, little bounder on the infield. Hanlon with his speed will beat this out. Infield single. So Hanlon aboard, 4th hit for the Wolverines. And here's Jack Rowe. He's 1 for 2, baseball fans. Hey, John, welcome in, my friend. So this is the behind the plate view. Yep, batter's box camera. Yeah, it's pretty cool. This is one that Chris uses. It's just with this minor league ballpark, I didn't bother setting cameras or anything, and so the overview and wide cameras just didn't look right. So play it this way, kind of fun. The 1-0 to Jack Rowe. Rowe swings, grounder to second, diving stop, but a throwing error by McGeary. So Cuthbert drops it. That looks like that's going to be an E3. Hanlon makes second on the play, and we're up to 6 total errors in this game now. Sam Thompson, Hall of Famer, 1 for 2. Runners at first and second, 8-3 St. Louis lead. Here's the pitch. And going to third, the slide, and Ned Hanlon picks up the stolen base. Let's have a look at that one again. There goes Hanlon, and the throw down by Clapp will not be in time. All right, here's the 2-2 pitch now to Sam Thompson. Thompson swings, and this one, base hit past second base into right field, and Sam Thompson is going to have himself an RBI double, a 2 RBI double. And actually, no, it will not. It's going to be a single and an error, 4th error for the St. Louis Brown Stockings. But Hanlon and Rowe will score on the error. So score that, a single and an error. It's now 8-5. Detroit making it a game. Cousin Ken, doesn't this remind you of our tournament that we had, the KCCL tournament, and those epic games between the Baltimore Orioles of 1894 and the 1885 Chicago White Stockings, who we will also see in this league? Am I reading this correctly? The 1876 St. Louis team had 1 pitcher. Yep. Most teams in the 1870s had 1, so sometimes they would have to call somebody else in, but yeah, I mean, if we look here, let's look at St. Louis. So, gentlemen, what you are looking at here, you're pretty much looking at the entire roster for the St. Louis Brown Stockings. This is it. There's George Bradley. So you had to stay in, you had to do it up. All right, let's get back to game action here. We're playing at, pretending it's Grand Avenue Park. Here's Dan Bruthers now. Bruthers nothing for 2. He was on board thanks to an error last time. Bruthers hard shot to second, and up with this one will be Mike McGeary for the 4-3 putout. So Bruthers, 1 up, 1 down now. First out of the inning, I should say. And here's Hardy Richardson, who's nothing for 2. Again, Hardy Richardson, the home run king in the McGreevy League, I think with 11 home runs. All right, here's the pitch, and Hardy sends this one high fly ball to right field, and down between the hands of Blong, who will get the throw back in on the infield. Old Joe Blong out there. So 2 down, runner at third, and that will be, of course, Sam Thompson. Here's Deacon White. He has an RBI in this game. George Bradley deals. White swings. Routine grounder to first, and Cuthbert will take it to the bag himself. But thanks to 2 errors by the 1876 Brown Stockings, Detroit picks up 2 runs. We go to the bottom of the 5th. The Brown Stockings 8 and the Wolverines 5 here in 19th century baseball. And Mike, the sports simulation spectator, is joining us here in the Wayback Machine. Welcome in, man. Good to see you, and I want to thank everybody for all the tidbits that you're bringing in here in this forgotten era of baseball. And again, neither of these teams are modern baseball. Modern baseball would be 1893. So when we see those teams, we don't have to suspend so much disbelief as we do here, but that's okay. All right, here is Joe Blong, and then Dickie Pierce and George Bradley due up for the St. Louis Brown Stockings. And Ed Beaton, who came on in relief, will stay on. And this one, hard shot to second base, and it's going to be Fred Dunlap all over that one, and fires to first for the out. So 1 up, 1 down now for Dickie Pierce, 1 for 2 with a run batted in. Here's the 1-0 delivery to Pierce, who's 1 for 2. And this one, soft little grounder back to the box. And Beaton fires on to Dan Bruthers for the 1-3 putout. So 2 up, 2 down here in the St. Louis fifth, and it brings up George Bradley. Bradley is 1 for 1 in the game. Beaton with the payoff pitch to Bradley. Bradley tried to hold up, and they call that one a strikeout. One umpire in the game, by the way. So St. Louis goes in order. We go to the sixth, and it's St. Louis 8, Detroit 5. Be Fred Dunlap, Charlie Bennett, and Ed Beaton to bat for the 1887 Wolverines. And let's look at the Wolverines in terms of, so you can already see here, Bernie, more pitching. So the 1870 teams, even though we have an 1870s team leading right now, I think going down the stretch, these guys are going to be at a decided disadvantage. But we'll see. All right. Here we go. George Bradley to Fred Dunlap. Grounded out his last time up, and soft grounder to short. The throw to first, and they get him by a step. So Denny Mack making a nice play over there to Ned Cuthbert. So 1 up, 1 down now for Charlie Bennett, who's had a couple of adventures, but also 1 for 1 and a run batted in. Bradley with the 1-1 delivery to Bennett. Bennett swings, hard grounder taken on the short hop at third. Good play there by Joe Batten, who fires onto Ned Cuthbert. So 2 away here now for Ed Beaton. Beaton, first pitch swinging, fly ball into the gap and left, but this is going to stay up long enough for Lip Pike to make the catch. The Detroit Wolverines go 1-2-3. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning, and it's the Brown Stockings 8 and the Wolverines 5. Joe Batten, Ned Cuthbert, and Lip Pike due up for the St. Louis Brown Stockings in the United States centennial year of 1876. All right, Batten 1 for 2 in the game. Or I'm sorry, yeah, Batten 1 for 2 in the game. And this one's just a little slow roller up to first. And Bruthers tossing it on to Beaton at first, and Batten gets an infield hit. So St. Louis has 12 hits in this game. Joe Batten on at first for first baseman Ned Cuthbert. He is 1 for 3, 2 runs batted in for St. Louis. Beaton comes home with it, the 1-0, and the runner goes. Batten breaks for second, and Charlie Bennett not even making a throw. So Batten picking up the stolen base. And the payoff pitch, and Cuthbert sends that one to third, and the only play is going to be at first. So Deacon White fires on to Dan Bruthers. Joe Batten moves to third now. Potential 9th St. Louis run just 90 feet away for Lip Pike. Having a good day. He's 1 for 3 with a run batted in. The 3-2 pitch. And Pike swings. This one grounded to short. That will get the run home. The throw to first. And they get him by a gnat's eyelash. So Lip Pike will pick up the RBI. And it's now the Brown Stockings 9 and the Wolverines 5. 2 away here for Denny Mack. He has an RBI in this game, 1 for 3 overall. Ed Beaton deals payoff pitch. And this one, fastball high, ball 4. First walk delivered by Ed Beaton, and that brings up John Clapp. Clapp, a perfect day despite playing with fatigue. 3 for 3, including a run batted in. Denny Mack is on at first base. And here's the delivery. And a little hit and run action. Well, not a hit and run action with full count. And Clapp gets the infield hit. Let's look at that one again. I wasn't paying attention to the count there. So not a hit and run. Just do regular play-by-play. So this one, slow roller to second. Yep, and by the time Dunlap is up with it, there's no way he's going to get John Clapp. He's already down the line. All right, 2 on, 2 out, 1 in for St. Louis. And here's Mike McGarry, the second baseman, is 1 for 3 with a run batted in. Here's the 1-2 pitch. McGarry swings, and this one lined into center, base hit. And will McGarry pick up the run batted in to throw to the plate? And this one a little up the line at third. McGarry with an RBI single, and the St. Louis Brown Stockings now leading 10-5. Remember, errors are playing a bit of a factor here in this game, if you will. 4 by St. Louis, 3 by Detroit. All right, here is Joe Blong. What I would love to see, though I don't think that there would be much interest beyond maybe a few of us, would be a mod which would remove batting gloves and things like that, and maybe create. I know that would be a crazy amount of work, though. So we'll be happy with what we have. All right. So here's Joe Blong. Blong 1 for 3. Here's the pitch. Blong swings and drives this one out to left field, and this one is gonna be an RBI double. Could it be an RBI triple? A 2 RBI triple. Joe Blong doing it up here. This one becoming a laugher now, and we're gonna have to look at it. So coming in to score, Clapp and McGarry, and the Brown Stockings now. Did we look at Joe Blong? Did we look at him? Well, he deserves another look if we didn't. So Joe Blong, right, who's raising a little bit of hell today there with that 2 RBI triple, played 75, 76, and 77. So we're seeing him in the middle year of his baseball career. How about that? All right, not much to talk about Joe Blong, but having a good day at the plate today. All right, and Henry Gruber will come on to pitch now. So again, Detroit having an advantage here, actually having more than one pitcher on the staff. All right, Dickie Pierce is 1 for 3. Yes, they have, Big Clue, as I know very well from last night's Pirates. Never happened in their franchise before, down 9 runs and came back. So good stuff. Good stuff. I think Cincinnati will definitely have a solid third place finish in the National League Central. Starting the season in the cellar. You got to love that, though. All right. So again, this year, Big Clue and I, even though we're Reds Buccos fans, with Milwaukee having clinched the Central, we are going to be rooting with all our might against the Milwaukee Brewers. All right, Henry Gruber, let's have a quick look at Henry making his first appearance. But let's look at his real-life stats as a pitcher. So Gruber played 1887, 88, 89, skipped 1890, and 1890, unless he went to the Players League. That is a possibility. So split his career between Detroit and Cleveland. His best season, in terms of wins at least, was 1891 with Cleveland. Also posted 11 wins in 1888. In terms of straight up good old-fashioned earned run average, his best year was 1888 with the Wolverines. He posted a 2.29. Back to game action. Gruber ready to deal now to Dickie Pierce in the bottom of the 6th. Pierce 1 for 3, high fly ball into the alley in right, but pulling it down is Sam Thompson, and that retires the side. But the Brown Stockings pick up 4 more runs. It's 12-5. We head to the 7th. Ned Hanlon, Jack Rowan, Sam Thompson, George Bradley deals to Foxy Ned. Hanlon swings, high fly ball, left field. This will stay in the park and down between the hands of Lip Pike. So 1 away here in the 7th. And that will bring up the lefty Jack Rowe. Jack Rowe 1 for 3 in the game. 12, 15, and 4 for the Brown Stockings. 5, 5, and 3 for the Wolverines, as I can tell with the drop in viewership that Robert has started in his postseason. So, guys, RJO Network doing 2016 postseason. All right. Here's a delivery to Jack Rowe. Jack Rowe swings to Hopper to short. And up with that one is Denny Mack. He fires onto Ned Cuthbert for out number 2. Sam Thompson now. He is 2 for 3 with 2 runs batted in. Here's the 2-0 pitch to the Hall of Famer. Singled his last time up. Thompson, high pop fly, shallow grass on the right hand side. Waiting for it to come down is Mike McGeary for the 3rd out. So, for Detroit, 3 up, 3 down, bottom of the 7th. George Bradley will lead it off, and then Joe Batten and Ned Cuthbert. George Bradley 1 for 2. Henry Gruber staying on in relief. Here's the 1-0 delivery to Bradley. Bradley swings the miss, pop fly on the infield, and coming in, third baseman making the call, and the catch is Deacon White. So 1 away now, and we're back at the top of the order for the Brown Stockies, and Joe Batten part of this hit parade. He is 2 for 3. Henry Gruber deals. Here's the 1-2 to Batten. Batten swings. This one, 2 hop to short. Quick play, bad throw though. So Jack Rowe with the bad throw on to Dan Bruthers hurried his throw. Batten safe on the error, and that is the 4th error by the St. Louis Brown Stockings. So 8 errors now. Don't know what the over-under is on errors or anything like here, but do feel free. Ken bemoaning the fact that there were no errors earlier. Well, we've got 8 of them now. Very, very common. All right, people talking about who they're going to be rooting for in the postseason. We'll look on that in a minute. Henry Gruber ready to deal to Ned Cuthbert. The 3-1. 2 RBIs for Cuthbert, and this one very high, and he walks him. So 2 aboard for St. Louis, just relentless in this game. Detroit never ever had the lead in this game. Lip Pike now, 1 for 4. He is batted in 2. 2 on, 1 out. Here's the delivery. And this one is going to get it. Whoa, Charlie Bennett, nice play. So that one in the dirt. It looked like Gruber kind of lost a little bit on that one. That one a little sinker, and it sunk too much. Bennett able to keep in front of him. So Batten and Cuthbert unable to advance. 2 on here. The 2-0 delivery from Gruber. And this one, it's a double steal. How about that? So there we go. So Batten picking up his 2nd stolen base. Cuthbert moves to 2nd. So that's always fun to see. Let's look at it again. And the runners were off. Charlie Bennett unable to get the ball down there to 3rd. So these St. Louis Brown Stockings are saying, "Hold my beer, mate." All right. Double steal. Ken Castro says he's sleeping in tomorrow, so he's going to have a Sam Adams. All right. And that brings up Lip Pike now, or Lip Pike back in the box, I should say. 2 in scoring position, 1 down. St. Louis continuing the onslaught. Here's the pitch. Pike swings, and this one drilled to left, down for a base hit. And 1 run comes in. And 2, Lip Pike with the RBI double. And Cuthbert will score. And so with a 2-bagger, it's 14-5. But we're going to keep this game going because it's fun. Here's Denny Mack. Haven't had dinner yet, but I'm having fun. Denny Mack is 1 for 3 with a run batted in. Henry Gruber getting shelled out there. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swung on, high fly ball to center field. Will it be deep enough? It will not. Ned Hanlon making the catch out there in center field. So Lip Pike will hold 2nd. Ned Hanlon with a decent arm out there. Here's John Clapp. John, a perfect 4 for 4 John giving him the clap here. You knew I was going to say it. He has a run batted in. The 0-2 pitch. Clap swings, and this one, high fly ball, left field. And waiting on it and bringing it down is Hardy Richardson. But the St. Louis Brown Stockings score 2 times. It's 14-5 as we go to the top of the 8th inning. And the reason I don't want to cut the 19th century game short is games like this were fairly common. So here is a nickname to conjure with, and look at the picture, gents. We have Fatty Britty into pinch hit now for the Detroit Wolverines, and of course we must have a look at the erstwhile Fatty. Is it Fatty Briotti? I said Britty. Briotti? Fatty Briotti, Cousin Ken, how do I say his name? So anyhow, old Fatty here, he played strictly 1880s, so 1880, then 82, 83, 84, 5, 6, 7, and finished in 1888. Fatty Briotti, a lifetime 220 hitter, played in 301 games in his career. Not a lot else to talk about. Did have 3 home runs, though, so that's something. All right. So he's cutting a finer figure here, certainly. All right. So John Clapp sets up. George Bradley deals to Fatty Briotti. And Briotti drills this one to right field. And this one will get down for at least 2. And Fatty Briotti chugs into second. Stand-up double to lead off the Detroit 8th. You gotta love it. 3 to 4 errors per game in the 1880s, about 7 to 8 times of today's frequency. Absolutely. And as we've talked about, Big Clue, it was in the dead ball era, they strove to bring errors down. All right, so Fatty Briotti, how about it? Way to go, Fatty. I'm your biggest fan now. Here's Hardy Richardson. Richardson, nothing for 3. Good power, has the chance to somehow inch the Wolverines closer here in the 8th. Here's the 1-0. Richardson swings, line drive, base hit, left field. Fatty Briotti rounds third and holds. All right. So Lip Pike with a good arm out there in left field. Fatty Briotti decides discretion is the better part of valor. Cranks and cranklets, and it brings up Deacon White. So the third baseman is nothing for 2 with a run batted in. George Bradley with the 1-1 pitch. And he nails Deacon White. So the bases are loaded. Golden opportunity here for the Detroit Wolverines to cash in. Brings up Fred Dunlap, RBI in this game. He is nothing for 3. The bases are juiced. Deacon White at first, Hardy Richardson at second, and Fatty Briotti at third. All right, George Bradley deals. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and Dunlap swings, grounder to short, and they will turn 2, but a run will come in to score. Fatty Briotti and Detroit with 2 down and a run in. It's now St. Louis 14 and Detroit 6. All right, here's Charlie Bennett, 1 for 2 with a run batted in. Runner at third, and that is Hardy Richardson. George Bradley with a 2-2 pitch. And a little squibber by Bennett, and Bennett will be retired. The Detroit Wolverines get 1 run. We go to the bottom of the 8th, St. Louis 14, Detroit 6. And it'll be Mike McGarry, Joe Blong, and Dickie Pierce for the Wolverines. Henry Gruber with a 2-2 pitch to Mike McGarry. McGarry swings, fly ball right field, and measuring it up and bringing it down is Sam Thompson, calling off Foxy Ned Hanlon. 1 up, 1 down now for Joe Blong. He is 2 for 4 with 2 runs batted in, the great Joe Blong. Henry Gruber deals the count even at 2-2. Joe Blum with a triple back in the sixth. And swing and a miss. So Henry Gruber picks up his first strikeout. So 2 away here, and it brings up Dickie Pierce. Center fielder 1 for 4, run batted in. Gruber winds and deals. And Pierce sends this one, sinking liner to center field. This will get down for a base hit. No, it will not. All right, so caught on the fly. Sorry, Ned Hanlon gets it. Looked like that bounced away from him. 1, 2, 3. Go the Brown Stockings. We go to the ninth. And can Detroit mount an 8-run comeback? And you got to play for the win on the road, so here we go. Charlie Genzel will pinch hit, or Charlie Ganzel, I'm sorry. Let's look at Charlie. Charlie, a long career, 1885 to 1897. Not really a slugger. 10 home runs, 412 runs batted in for him, 63 steals. A lifetime 260 hitter, Charlie Ganzel. All right, back to game action. John Clapp sets the target. George Bradley eyes him up. The 0-2 pitch to Ganzel. Ganzel swing and a miss. So 1 up, 1 down now. Back at the top of the order for Detroit. Foxy Ned Hanlon. Bradley deals. Here's the 2-1. Hanlon swings. This one. Line drive. Base hit. Left field. Hanlon's going for 2. As out there in left field chasing the ball, Lip Pike. So that's going to be a base hit, and that's going to be an error charge to Lip Pike. So single and E7. Error number 5. For the St. Louis Brown Stockings. 9 errors in the game, and here is Jack Rowe. 1 for 4. Hanlon leads off second. Here's the pitch to Rowe, and Rowe, a little dunker. Oh, nope, this one a little blooper to second. Mike McGarry making the catch. 2 down. It's down to Sam Thompson. 2 for 4. 2 runs batted in. Here is the delivery. Thompson swings and drilled to right. And this will get down for a base hit. And they're going to hold Hanlon at third. So runners at the corners for the Wolverines, and we will have we'll have Billy Schindel in here now. Schindel making his first plate appearance. Let's have a quick look at Billy. Nice picture of Billy Schindel there, by the way. Schindel played from 1886 to 1898. And I'm seeing that a lot of these are not 1890s, so these obviously jumping to Players League. Let me see, what's the deal with this guy here? Billy Schindel. He managed 21 home runs, 668 runs batted in, a 263 average for him. All right, back to the game. And there you go. Nice picture of Billy Schindel. George Bradley deals the 2-1 pitch. Schindel swings, and this one, line drive base hit into right field, past first base. And Billy Schindel picks up the RBI single as Foxy Ned Hanlon comes home with the run. And the Detroit Wolverines, with 2 down, has now cut this lead in half. It's 14-7. Tension mounting here at Grand Avenue Park in St. Louis as Hardy Richardson steps up. He is 1 for 4. Sam Thompson in scoring position at second, and he's trailed by Billy Schindel at first. So Bernie says the closest he can find is 1874, when games averaged 8 to 9 errors per game, and we're right there. Yep, looks about right. All right, here we go. Here's the pitch. Richardson, a swing and a miss, and this one is over. And wow, it's a heartbreaker, a squeaker. So the St. Louis Wolverines, and there they come to looking more like a team from the 1930s, but that's okay. All right, so for the St. Louis Brown Stockings, they go to 1-1. The Detroit Wolverines of 1887 fall to 1-1. The Brown Stockings, 14 runs, 16 hits, 5 errors. The Detroit Wolverines, 7 runs, 10 hits, and 4 errors. John Clapp was a major contributor to the 14-7 St. Louis win over Detroit. The Brown Stockings catcher went 4 for 5 with 4 singles while scoring 2. George Bradley, the winning pitcher, is now 1-1. He went 9 innings, allowing 7 runs on 10 hits while fanning 4 and walking nobody. And so both of these teams 1-1. The Brown Stockings got an important contribution from first baseman Ned Cuthbert, who in the bottom of the second punched a full count fastball into right for a 2-run triple, first triple of the season, and put the Brown Stockings ahead 4-0. So, player of the game is John Clapp. Weedman gets the loss. He went 3 innings. Ed Beaton came in, worked 2 2/3 in relief. And then Henry Gruber, 2 1/3. George Bradley goes the distance. 9 innings, 10 hits, 7 runs. Only 3 of those runs earned 4 strikeouts. So fun stuff. And that does it for that 19th century game. Andrew, so I've lifted the restriction. You can actually type the word out in full. I'm the only one that can't say it unless I'm talking about soccer. So please, it's okay. It's all right. I'm trying to be a kindler, gentler channel. All right. So we're not going to do any more games here for the 19th century. I want to save some of these up for Cousin Ken. But let's jump down really quickly here for the hardcore staying, and let's autoplay at least a couple dead ball games. Unless you guys, if you guys do hear of a matchup, I'll save it. I think we could do. So we have the 1918 Cubs and the 1910 Athletics. Cy Morgan, Speed Martin. We may autoplay that. Trying to look. I don't really see any great matchups here in the dead ball era, to be honest with you. Maybe George Chalmers and Red Ames. So the 15 Phillies and 1905 Giants could be a good dead ball game. Let me see. The 1914 Braves and the Highlanders. Let's see who the Red Sox, White Sox. This could be good. Doc White, Ernie Shore. So that'll be a game I think I do want to do. Let's see. Tigers, Reds. George Mullen, Dutch Ruther. So, all right. So we have 3 good matchups in the dead ball era. Let's do the other ones. First, Senators, Robbins, Joe Bowling, and Weezer Dell. Let's quick play it. And the Senators edge the Robins 2-1. And Rip Williams picking up a home run for the Senators. Joe Bowling gets the win, and Weezer Dell takes the loss. Player of the game, Joe Bowling. All right, Braves Highlanders. This is Dick Rudolph, Barney Wolf. Let's quick play it. And the Boston Braves edge the New York Highlanders of 1904 2-1. And no home runs in the game. All right, Phillies Giants. We're going to wait and do that one. The 1902 Pirates and the 1908 Yankees. Yeah, much as I want to see my Pirates, we'll wait on that one. We'll just quick play this one. And the Pittsburgh Pirates defeated the 1918 Yankees 6-4. Jack Cheesebro getting the win. Thorm Holland getting the loss for the Yankees. And let's see, Athletics Cubs. This will be Cy Morgan, Speed Martin. Clear. Let's quick play this one. 1910 Athletics 4, the 1918 Cubs 2. Morgan gets the win. Martin takes the loss. Phillies Giants. We will not touch that one. We'll quick broadcast that one we'll broadcast it as will White Sox, Red Sox, Tigers, and Reds. 19th century. We still have 1899 Phillies, 1878 Reds, 1895 Spiders, 1882 Ruby Legs, 1876 Grays, and the 1875 Red Stockings. We've seen them already play once. The 1894 Orioles against the 1888 Pittsburgh Alleghenies, and the 1879 Buffalo Bisons, and the 1888 New York Giants. So there we go. That's what we have so far. Very, very early in the season. Huh. No, of course. There you go. All right. Quick play the Ruby Legs. Yeah, absolutely, All right. So here we go. Ruby Legs against the 1895 Cleveland Spiders. This will be Bobby Wallace. And yes, the Bobby Wallace who actually pitched. And in 1894, he was 2 wins, 1 losses back in 1894. His Hall of Fame shortstop. He'll be facing Frank Mountain, a rather stern-looking Frank Mountain here, for the Worcester Ruby Legs. And here we go. And the Ruby Legs put up a good fight against the Spiders, but defeated 7-5, 7-18-2 for the Spiders. The Ruby Legs committing no errors, guys. 5 runs, 10 hits, no errors. We had home runs in this game. Chief Zimmer for Cleveland, and a very, very famous player there, Harry Stovey for Worcester. So Wallace, of course, gets the win, goes to 1-0. Frank Mountain goes to 0-1. Player of the game, Harry Stovey. So there we go. We did a lot of really, really old-time baseball today all over the place. And thanks, you guys. Ken Castro says, my man, Harry Stovey. I'll probably be back in a little while to do one more game. And if you guys, whatever you want, it can be whatever game you want. We can do something. We can have somebody pick 2 teams. We can play somebody from here. Do one of these dead ball teams. Doesn't matter. I'm going to come back and do a game nonetheless in a little while. All right. I'm glad it was, Cousin Ken. Certainly glad it was. Thank you. We had a good crowd here for a little while watching some 19th century baseball. And again, Robert, if you catch this on the flip side, don't take it personally. I love what you do. I've got an earlier day tomorrow, and I just wanted to get some baseball in. This league is normalized to 1900. So, yeah. So, Robert, thank you for being such a cool chap about things. At least I hope you are. And Cousin Ken will be back. It's not going to be that late, guys. Probably maybe a half hour, 45 minutes. I just got to grab something quick to eat. I've already got my, ready to start work tomorrow, and actually doing a better jam. I guess I should tell you guys. Going to work for FedEx, not as a package handler. I'll be working for FedEx, so start with them tomorrow. Well, actually, it's my second day with FedEx, so first full day. So looking forward to great company to work for. Pretty nice. So the animal thing was really, really cool, but just it wasn't paying enough, unfortunately. So FedEx it will be, but lots of baseball. Once I'm in working my normal hours with FedEx, that's going to be back to, I know, Cousin, this doesn't make you happy because you do have to get to bed earlier. It's going to be later baseball. So broadcasts eventually are going to be starting at 11 p.m. Monday through Friday, unfortunately. But we'll figure it out. All right, guys, we'll see you in about 45 minutes for another game of something or other. So thank you to Big Clue, Cousin Ken Castro, Carlos Yaz, and Big Clue saying Sunday Night Baseball, big time. Bernie Strom, all right. He's off to get ready to take the family out for dinner for the birthday. All right. And God grant her many, many years. Andrew RW603, thank you for coming in and for all your contributions today to our chats. And let me see. Mike, the Sports Simulation Spectator, thank you. John DFW, thank you, buddy. Mike Silva, thank you to Mike. Clee Baseball Fan, Tim, check out that channel. He hung out for us for a tiny bit. Always good to see Tim. Smart guy. Saw him on a flip side, caught a little bit of a Rob exclamation point, and Tim hanging out in there. Got to see his mug. Sakuni 007. So, good amount of people in here for this doubleheader. And Carlos, I didn't see your answer, and I don't know where you're about Out of the Park Baseball. So we'll hopefully be able to figure that out next time that you're here. I think we have MV was here as well. Dwayne Martz, Aaron Reed, and Carlos Yaz was first, and Sakuni 007 second. Guys, we'll see you in about 45 minutes or so for another game. I'm just going to leave Out of the Park up. We'll just do a game in Out of the Park Baseball. All right. Till then, see you around the batting cage. I am expecting a lower viewership, but we'll have fun.